MB Enclosures has his own YouTube channel, and this guy is an animal when it comes to designing boxes.
Unbelievable. I couldn't even believe that there was 2 8s in there.
This guy right here is doing something special.
I welcome y'all to MBE, what you about to see. Box building in a different league. In this SQL scene, believe that money ain't a thing when it comes to his kings. Now that's fact, not fiction. Call 44694 48 then 18. Don't matter, you got 4 8s or 1 8 or anything between. He got what you need.
This is my crew. This is my gang. These are my kings.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy MB, here to bring you another unboxing. Here we have the Concrete Audio C58d2. Now, what do I know about Concrete Audio? I think they've been around since 2019, maybe 2018. The owner, I think his name is Kurt Creek, came from Pro Audio, which he was into the PA system sound. Very, very loud output, had a, does installation work. He was an installer, a seller, a salesman. I think he was a salesman, then an installer with a Pro Audio background. Now, Pro Audio background means that he was setting up like concerts, stadiums and stuff like that, speakers that cover a big, broad aspects. And he took his knowledge of audio installation and doing big PA style system, public announcement system. That's what PA stands for, Pro Audio, concert halls, big events like that. Well, he took that knowledge that he had with different products and said, hey man, I'm gonna start my own company because I feel like there's a niche that's not being fulfilled. With that being said, he has made substantial progress with his mids and highs. I'm sure plenty of venues people have been to and have heard, I myself have heard, very loud mids and highs coming out of that Concrete Audio. Well, I think within the last 2, maybe 3 years, he's making a good push into not just making subwoofers that he can get mass produced in China, but actually getting into, well, let's make these better. Let me put my mindset into subwoofers. With that being said, the C5 lineup is what he's using to assert himself, different from the other lineup subwoofers in his that he offers. These are him paying attention to what is needed in the industry. Oh, I did not know I had this light showing. Let me step this back, son. Okay, that's so you don't see the glare on my face or whatever. So, what's very interesting that he obviously been watching my channel, which is what he said he has done. And pretty much everything that I said that needed to be done on the 8, he made sure when he came on with his 8 that it was done. So let's get this boy out the box and let's see exactly what Creek is doing over there in Concrete Audio. And I must tell you, as I've showed y'all before, in the little preliminaries, especially on my lives, I'm impressed, straight up. But I gotta unbox it and go through the regular settings. So let's get this boy out the box, tape it up. So it comes, let me take the second box up. Okay. Now this, okay. This is where I'm, look at this cardboard piece right here. Corrugated plywood. But what's very interesting is, it's best for me to show you. Let's see if I can get it out. Yeah, he ships it in a box and he has it encased in some particle board that thoroughly protects the driver along with the cardboard. And look how he protects that massive motor structure getting to you. I don't know if the camera's gonna actually show that. So there's a ring that goes around the motor, stops it from moving. Then he has in line and felt, and this goes on top. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Nice, 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 nice. So it comes in the traditional plastic. And now, ooh, boy, that hurt. That did hurt, y'all. Let's turn this camera around so we can get a up close look at the C5 category 5.8 from Concrete Audio and Mr. Creek. Let's turn this camera. Okay, first thing I want to point out is this is the first production run. So some features that you see on here are going to be permanently added to the second run, because once he got the first production run, he did some testing himself and saw some things that he wanted to address, and he addressed them. And so on the second run, you're going to get the D1 option and the D2 option. Right now, it's just the D2 option. What else do I want to say? I think that's all we're going to. And some of us, we have ours given to us so that we can test it, fully test it. And he picked me as one of his beta testers to test this 8. The reason why we're doing this unboxing is because it passed that part, especially my excruciating free air test. This boy passed it with flying colors. I'm at 20 hours on 1 at rated power and no issues. So let's go ahead and show you some of these features. First of all, I want you to understand that this is a 7.5 inch basket. So this is a new basket that has a 7.5 inch cutout. So you have a larger spotter landing than you would have on a standard cutout. Okay, so that's a good feature. And you also have more cone area because the cutout is 7.5. I would say, and I'm going to do another test when we pull the TS parameters on the production model and on the model that I have in the background, which is this model right here, that it's on his 20th hour free air testing. Before I pull the TS specs. Let's get back over here so y'all can see this one. All right, now, so we got more SD because we got a 7.5 inch cutout. We have a carbon fiber cone and carbon fiber dust cap. True carbon fiber cone dust cap. What I want to point out, and this is him coming from that Pro Audio sounds, he's used to cones on the excruciating power breaking up. So what he has done with his cones on the back of on this C58 is laminated. So you have the carbon fiber, and then on the back side, as if that's not enough, he decided to coat the back side of his cone. If you notice, you'll see a little shininess. Yeah, I might show it right there. You can see a little shininess to the cone. And the reason why is because he has it laminated with more epoxy. That's going to deepen the FS because the MMS is going to make the saw parts rather heavy. However, he has a very large motor, as you can see, and we'll get to that later. Didn't spend a lot of money on the mounting boot, but that's all we need this to do is just seal the basket to the mounting baffle. Direct leads, and these are 12 gauge direct lead, OFC copper. Look at the size of this tinsel. Look at the size of that. Let me see if I can blow this up for y'all. Get that a little closer. Get a little closer. There we go. Let's move a little closer too. Look at the size of those tinsel leads. In line with that 1500 watt power rating, ain't it? Yeah. Easy to believe that. Also, look at those spiders. So he has dual space spiders. And I'm going to tell you guys, there we go. This might be a good, best shot we're going to be able to get of them. Now, the one that's going to give you the most travel is the one on the bottom. That bottom spider. It's going to move the farthest. The one on the top is really just to keep it linear. So this top spider, the one that we can see where the tinsel leads are sewn into, That's to help control his linearity upon his full stroke. The bottom spider, and let's see if we can get it. Yeah, the bottom spider, that's a good shot of it. There we go. The bottom spider, that's the one that's gonna move the farthest. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Maybe you can see it in my hand. This spider to me mimics another company that has a very, very robust stiff spider. That spider is very, very stiff, y'all. You can see the rolls on it on this shot. If you look between here and here, we have 1, 2, 3 rows before it comes into contact with the spider pack. He still has to list what the listed X max is, but I want you to look here and look at the size. Look how much of the coil is protruding above the gap. Now see that? Let me see if I can turn and get that out the way. Yeah. See, you see that? And here's a good shot as well. Look right here. There you go. And you can see that gap. Yeah. 8-layer aluminum, 8-layer aluminum voice coil, I believe. Yes, sir. 8-layer aluminum voice coil on a BSAV former. Let me turn around here so you can see that. You see that former? And the windings go pretty much right up to the triple joint. So I'm going to tentatively say we're in excess of 20 millimeters. Now remember, this is the first production run. This is for others. I myself and others got those, and we've been told specifically to abuse it. See what it can do. Let's back out. Let's scoop this camera back out here. Now, this is another feature I want to point out as well. 1500 watts RMS rating, and look at the vents that he has on the top plate. Can y'all see those? Yeah. So we have 8 vents. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, 8 vents aligned around the top plate. That if you look right through, and that's hard for me to do with the camera, I'm telling you as a witness, it goes straight to the voice coil. So air is being forced as the woofer moves, and it's being sealed to the baffle. Air is being moved from this bottom spider through these vents to dissipate heat. You got the entire surface area of this large motor structure to dissipate heat. And then you have this boy is heavy, 36 pounds. Then you have this large bottom plate with a very, very, very large pole piece. I'm sure y'all can see that. Very, very large pole piece. That's got to be at least 1.5 inches. Let me get this so y'all can see that. Look at that. With 12 holes, 12 vent holes all the way around the circumference of the 3-inch voice coil. So we have superior ways of dissipating heat from that's being generated from the driver, taking this 1500 watts. And I'm going to safely say I believe this is 1500 watts conservative, but it's very, very easy, very, very easy to dissipate heat with this much mass, all this cooling, the cooling on the top plate as well. And oh man, he did his overkill. And then the main thing that he said that he did that made perfect sense. He made it even with this, all these features, it still comes in at 7.5 inches. So it's under 8 inches, which means it will fit under the seat of a truck. He spent the money on the magnetic boot, but he didn't spend the money buying a magnetic boot for the magnet. For one, you're putting 1500 watts to the voice coil. We don't need nothing to trap in the heat when we only have an 8-inch membrane up front. So I think this is a smart move, not having a magnetic boot. If you want to inverse mount it and let people see it, heck, well, let them look at it. They look at it in all its glory. Nothing is going to trap the heat to the motor is there. That's a plus. He didn't use a standard cutout basket. He used a 7.5-inch cutout basket, give you more cone area. Then he gave you the ability for those of you who want to throw a lot of power. We're not going to throw a lot of power to a 2.5-inch voice coil. We're going to throw it to a true 3-inch voice coil. And that voice coil is massive. Let's see if we can get this camera around here. There we go. Get in there. That voice cord is master, fellas. That's a big voice cord. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So all in all, I think he did a fine job in this woofer. The only thing that I can say, let's see, what's the con about it? Well, some of you might want a magnetic boot. I will say it's going to take a substantial amount of time to break this boy in, but if you're looking to buy a true 1500 watt 8, I think to use for serious competition, you pretty much know what you're going to have to do to get this boy fully broken in, because he is very, 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 very stiff. You see how I'm moving my fingers to move that? Yeah, that's very, 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 very stiff. Now we can go over to the boy that I've been breaking in. And this is when we're going to do the freer test on, so you can see what to expect. I can move it now, one finger. So it will break in, but it's still relatively stiff. So durability there, longevity of play is definitely going to be there because of the cooling features. So stand by next for the freer testing of the Concrete Audio C5, Category 5. Now they base out there in Florida. So I ain't surprised he doing his mountain numbers with the C, because he's trying to bring you that heat from Miami, baby. Home on the base, man. Y'all be blessed. See y'all in the next video.